An indigenous tribe, known for its deep isolation within Peru's Amazon rainforest, has reportedly made contact with a neighboring village. Activists describe the move as an alarming indicator of severe stress caused by encroaching development. These rare sightings of the Mashco Pyro coincide with the construction of a bridge by a logging company, a development that indigenous rights advocate Survival International warns could grant outsiders easier access to the tribe's ancestral lands, significantly heightening the risk of disease and violent conflict. The Mashco Pyro are one of the world's largest uncontacted groups, maintaining their isolation to safeguard their culture and health. Their lack of immunity to common diseases means even a simple cold could prove fatal to the community. Historically, loggers who have trespassed onto the tribe's territory have been met with deadly resistance. Enrique Áñez, president of the nearby Yain community, another indigenous group, said that Mashco Pyro members had been seen around the Yain village of Nueva Oceania. "It is very worrying. They are in danger," Áñez said. Áñez said heavy machinery near Nueva Oceania is cutting paths through the jungle and across rivers into Mashco Pyro territory. The village sits at a key access point to the Mashco Pyro's territory, making it one of the few places where members of the tribe have occasionally been seen. In 2024, Survival International released photos showing dozens of Mashco Pyro close to active logging zones. The group warns that contact with outsiders could spread disease or lead to violent conflict, risks that have previously wiped out other isolated groups in the Amazon. 2 loggers were killed in bow and arrow attacks in 2024 after entering Mashco Pyro territory. Exactly 1 year after the encounters and the deaths, nothing has changed in terms of land protection, and the Yain are now reporting to have seen both the Mashco Pyro and the loggers exactly in the same space almost at the same time, said Teresa Mayo, researcher at Survival International. The clash could be imminent. Ms. Mayo said the logging company near the indigenous group has restarted operations as normal. They still have the license of the government, and that is how they back their activities even if they know they are putting both Mashco Pyro and their workers' lives at risk, she said. The Forest Stewardship Council, an international body that certifies sustainable wood products, has suspended its approval of the logging company, Madeira Canales Tawamanu, until November. However, Survival International said the bridge and heavy machinery footprints are evidence that logging is still taking place. The company's concessions, or licensed logging areas, border the Madre de Dios Territorial Reserve and overlap recognized Mashco Pyro land proposed by indigenous organizations for new protections. Madeira Canales Tawamanu could not be immediately reached for comment. Peru's Culture Ministry, tasked with promoting cultural identity and overseeing indigenous rights, said it is reviewing Survival International's report. When questioned on what measures the government is taking to protect groups like the Mashco Pyro, it noted it has created 8 reserves for indigenous peoples in isolation, has 5 more pending, and operates 19 control posts with 59 protection agents. It said more than 440 patrols have been carried out this year, and that its budget for protecting isolated communities more than doubled in 2025. The Tawamanu River is a key transport route in this part of the Amazon. A permanent bridge will allow year-round truck access, which environmentalists say could accelerate logging and deforestation deeper inside the forest. Rights advocates say logging is pushing the Mashco Pyro toward nearby villages, making encounters more likely. Cesar Apenza, a Peruvian environmental lawyer following the issue, said, "These indigenous peoples are exposed and vulnerable to any type of contact or disease, yet extractive activities continue despite all the evidence of the problems they cause in the territory." He noted that the Madre de Dios Territorial Reserve, created by the Peruvian government in 2002 to protect the lands of uncontacted and recently contacted indigenous peoples, has not prevented conflict because they do not necessarily know its boundaries. Madre de Dios is a remote southeastern Amazon region bordering Brazil and Bolivia. It is one of Peru's most biodiverse areas, but it has also been a hot spot for illegal gold mining, logging and other extractive industries that bring outsiders into contact with isolated tribes. The growing presence of forestry operations will almost certainly lead to renewed contact with isolated indigenous peoples, creating a violent situation that endangers them as well as the workers in the area, Mr. Apenza said. We will be getting back to the improvement of this security measures. Stay tuned and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.